Shut the
Welcome
fuck up,
to
Craig.
Welcome to Ghost
Ow.
of Gaming Future,
Rude.
the podcast where we talk about our video game ideas, whether they be from existing franchises or from our own crazy brains. I am your ghost, Riely, and with me today are my co-ghost Jason and Lucio. How are you guys doing?
Mediocre.
I'm doing all right. It was kind of weak burp. Sorry.
That was a weak burp. I'm sorry. That's how you apologize for a burp on a podcast. That was weak.
It really is.
I'm sorry.
That was weak. I'm sorry.
That wasn't strong
I
enough.
can't be interrupting with shit like that. I've got to do the good stuff.
You've got to interrupt bigger.
Bottom text.
So
What?
this is episode 3 of the weekly podcast we started in August.
Awesome.
So
We're all wonderful at hitting timelines.
yes. I mean, Lucio, you weren't on it when we first started. That was our excuse between episode 1 and 2, is that we lost a co-host, but we don't have an excuse for between 2 and 3.
And yet we continue to have scheduling issues.
Yeah. Well, at least they're more manageable scheduling issues. Joey just could not do anything ever.
Yeah. And
At least my schedule's always regular.
never. You don't have a
All right.
schedule. You don't have any free time.
Jason, you just need to do what I do and not do your homework. That would make all your Wednesday nights free.
Excuse me, no. I don't know about you, but I
Give up
actually
your
care about
future
my
for
grades.
the podcast. Woo!
Oh.
What?
This is the Ghost of Gaming Future. Give up school for the podcast. Woo!
No.
Okay, so this is episode 3. Episode 1, I shared my idea. Episode 2, Jason shared his idea. Now it's episode 3, which means it's
Idea's
Lucio
better
time.
than yours.
Lucio! Okay. All right. So,
JSR Lucio. I think that's how you introduced yourself in the first podcast we were in together.
it was that fucking podcast. Okay. So that we don't get on a sidetrack about that shit.
I actually had to talk to you talk to you about something pertaining to that later.
Oh, now I know what
Wonderful.
podcast it is.
Yeah, Jason, of course you do. There's only 2 podcasts I've been on with Lucio, counting this one.
Oh, really?
Soon to be 3.
Awesome.
Yeet.
That's
Okay.
epic.
Okay.
So Lucio,
So before I straight up mention it, do you guys want to make any guesses or have anything to say first?
you want us to guess your
Hopefully-
game idea?
Yeah, see if you can guess a genre, because I've got a few.
Okay.
I have a particular one I'd probably rather talk about more. But if you guess the genre, I'll talk about that one. If you say a different one first, I'll talk about that.
Okay. RPG.
Just hopefully not a Pokemon game.
No, absolutely not.
RPG.
Okay, yeah, it's a non-turn-based RPG, a live-action RPG. Not a LARP,
JRPG.
not an actual live-action RPG. You know what I mean? An active performer.
JRPG.
Yeah, no, not a JRPG either.
Oh.
Not necessarily, at least. Kind of like a For Honor with story kind of deal.
Oh.
It's a PlayStation VR game, but the secret is that they somehow, without you knowing, take you to an actual LARP session.
Okay, so here's the basic gist of the idea.
Man, this game is realistic.
So, I will start with controls. Okay, so as you guys know, you have 2 hands. And 2 hands is what
Wow.
it takes to hold a weapon that requires 2 hands to hold. And
Really?
most gaming controllers have 2 sticks. And to have
Ignore my
triggers.
phone going on.
Jason, what the fuck?
I'm playing a mobile game as we do this.
Are you playing
Why?
fucking Color Switch or what the fuck ever that game is?
Are you
Yeah.
playing Love Live's School Idol Festival?
Oh. Playing Color
Are you
Switch.
playing fucking Color Switch, Jason?
So don't get
Yeah.
sits in a sunny
Okay, anyway,
Okay, so
tell us
anyway.
more. Tell us
Okay.
more about the amount of hands.
Okay, so the way the controls for this game will work are you will lock onto an opponent, and that will change your control scheme from a generic RPG to a specific control scheme meant for combat. So how it's going to work is the right trigger will raise your arms, left trigger will lower them, right stick will control the position of the right hand, and the left stick will control the position of the left hand.
Is it Octodad?
Yeah. I already figured out how it'll work programming-wise. I even made the values and everything for it.
Is it a sequel to ARMS?
Actually make a game.
You
What?
know, I have to give you credit, Lucio. Your amount of detail is immeasurable. I don't think either of us talked about the hand mechanics in our games.
Yeah,
Is it a sequel to ARMS?
It's the mechanic I came up with first. I kind of... So when I make games, when I make ideas...
I'm sorry. Oh,
You better
can
be.
you hear this? I'm so sorry.
Fucking better be.
That's my ringtone. Hold on.
Christ, man.
Sorry, I didn't silence
Okay,
my phone
so,
and my phone started ringing.
I like the method that Nintendo tends to use for their game design. Make it fun to control and fun to play, and then figure out the story and shit.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Lucio.
So, what?
Lucio, what's the name of the game?
I have not named it yet, so generic medieval game
you give
number
me
47.
crap for not naming my game yet. Filthy hypocrite.
I'm not. I'm just doing what's funny.
Lucio, you have to name the game on the spot right now. You have 10 seconds.
1, 2, 3,
One.
4, 5, 6, 7.
You skipped
I probably just cut out. 8.
Grinder's Journey. There
9.
you go. Grinder's Journey.
Grinder's Journey? Got it.
Alright, I'll make that into a title somehow.
Yes, there is an E in there. If you do not put in the E, I will find you, then I will string you up by your own fucking toe tendons.
How about you just send me how to spell it, like, through DMs?
You know, like GRINDER.
You don't know how to spell the word grinder, Jason?
I know how, but, like, what if you, like, spelled it weird?
I didn't. I spelled it like, you know, like a literal grinder. Not like a grinder account, but like just a grinder.
I have a voicemail from somebody who's anonymous on my Talkatone.
Oh,
God.
wow, spooky, scary story alert.
I'm very concerned.
r/spoopy.
Okay, so the motions of the hands will build up momentum in the tip. And the momentum into the tip versus the area you're impacting and the angle you're coming at it from will be what decides the amount of damage that gets done, if any. So that's the way the game basically works.
Hey, Lucio.
And of course, you can intercept enemies' weapons by using the right combination of triggers and sticks for whatever direction the attack is coming from.
So it's basically like a fist fighting game?
No, well, I mean, you could have fist fighting mechanics in it, yeah.
Really
but it's mostly going to be weapon mechanics. For example,
so
you'll be able to do things like
the weapons. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, basically.
So it's kind of like ARMS.
I would probably do something like you can use the left click and right click of the thumbsticks to unattach your hand from the weapon. So you could do something like a false stab. For example, like you release your forward hand and lunge forward with your left hand, giving you a little bit of extra reach for a second. Stuff like that.
So it's basically ARMS plus Octodad and the throwing mechanic from Breath of the Wild.
Kinda. I mean, not quite like ARMS, because ARMS is just basically really long boxing.
Yeah.
That's all ARMS really is at the end of the day, like game design-wise. It's just really long boxing. You're boxing each other from across the... That's ARMS.
Fun though.
Something I want to introduce to the show that I realized
It
I
is
haven't
fun.
done the first 2 episodes. It's a very basic video game thing that I should have been doing. So we'll ask Lucio, and maybe we'll go back and rate our other games. But Lucio, what is the ESRB rating of this title?
Depending on how the writing itself would go, it would have to be a minimum of teen, but it could probably be bumped all the way up to mature.
No AC 17 though. Not that much. Not that bad.
No, probably not. I probably wouldn't put like full-blown hyper murder in there, and I probably wouldn't put porn in there. Because, I like my games to sell if I were to make a game.
I want, next game I'm talking about, I'm thinking of a game concept with the title Full Hyper Murder.
Do it, bro. Or you could just name it Hatred. It's basically the same game.
Also, by the way, my game will definitely be rated E10 and up or E.
That was you mean the Broken Fates game?
Yeah. E.
I think he does.
You talking about Broken Fates, Jason?
Yes. Did you not hear me?
And I can now.
And now.
Okay. I guess I cut out for a second.
Okay, yeah. Were you talking about Broken Fates?
Yeah.
Okay, so E or E10. Actually, I feel like yours would probably be teen too, because I feel like there'd be slightly more mature aspects to this RPG that you built.
Okay, then.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to run your game, but it just sounded a bit more mature.
Stop telling him how to run his game.
Yeah, dude.
Fine, whatever. I'd say most Smash Bros. Games, at least Brawl, was rated T, so I'd say that Duel would probably be rated T.
Brawl was rated T? Holy shit.
Yeah. You didn't know
Brawl
that?
Was rated.
That was the edgy era.
I legitimately did not know that.
Wait, I bet
I swear
you $1 million that Lucio has not listened to Ghost of Gaming Future episode 1.
I bet you
that
he's such I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
In episode 1, I talked about my game, which was a Nintendo 2D fighter that has the Smash Bros. Title, just because that's what they would call a fighting.
It's like
game.
A traditional fighting game, though. So
yeah, it's like a traditional fighting game. It was called Super Smash Bros. Duel.
So stamina.
And you didn't include all the good characters.
Basically, it's. I'd say
Mortal
the closest
Kombat
games
Nintendo skins
are like Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Fighters, that kind of game.
Okay. Okay, I get it. Yeah. More like a Tekken over a Street Fighter, or
are those games different? I feel like those games are pretty much the same.
Tekken is 2.5D. There is a third dimension to move around in. Street Fighter is not.
2.5D, so like Tekken, Dragon Ball Fighters, there's definitely 3D graphics. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, anyway, continue with your game.
So the main theme of the game is going to be centered around death. That's why it's very iffy whether it's going to be between teen and mature, because I wanted to handle a lot of mature themes to help people cope with death is the kind of thing I would be into with that. Because I feel like it would reach to a real Dark Souls kind of audience with the amount of super tight mechanics it would have to be good. So
hey,
I
Lucio.
think a Dark Souls kind of audience would do really well.
Lucio.
Yeah?
Will this be taking place modern day, or will it be a Zelda medieval?
It'll be right just barely before the dawn of the firearm, where by the end of the game, you see the first firearms being used. And you eventually get to use one firearm in the game.
So 1600.
Yeah. So roughly 1500s, 1600s, kind of that area.
Okay, so the 17th century.
Right as firearms are starting to make their comeuppance,
Your game takes place in 1364.
Maybe not that early. I was more thinking the before they were super common, before they were starting to get common.
Okay, the first firearm was in 1364, though.
I know. I kind of misspoke when I said that. I meant more the dawn of firearms as common battlefield weapons.
And they got
as
popular.
Opposed to Like, we're not talking like fucking what is it? Princess Mononoke kind of age. We're talking like Assassin's Creed 2 kind of level, like a Renaissance time.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like, okay.
I feel like that's when the greatest diversity of both handheld and firearm weapons is going to be, and I want the end game to have firearms be somewhat common.
Okay.
They're all also obviously, because it's early firearms, they're going to be very unreliable. They're going to be dangerous, and you're only going to get one shot generally, maybe two if it's a double-barreled gun.
Like, I'm trying to think of what early guns were, if we'd even know what early guns were. Weren't muskets fairly early guns?
Muskets are somewhat early, but they're a lot later than what I'm thinking of, by about 200 years, 200 to 250 years, until the musket's invented. We're thinking more. Have you played Assassin's Creed 2?
I haven't played it,
any
but
of
I
the
like saw like a
Assassin's Creed
Let's Play.
games.
Okay. So Ezio has like this little gun attached to his hidden blade by the end game. So it's kind of like that. It's just like a single shot, a bullet, and some powder behind it. They have to hand ream in that kind of shit.
Oh,
And no,
like
you will
Evil
not
Dead
have to
2 with
use
Ash
the
and
fucking
Boomstick?
hand control mechanics to reload the gun. You won't have to like fucking actually like pound the left stick towards the right stick over and over again for like 3 minutes straight. You'll never have to do anything
Surgeon
like that in this
Simulator.
game. Like, I would probably just have reload be like, push both thumbsticks towards their bottom outside corners and then the bottom inside corners, and there you go. You're reloaded. And then otherwise, other than like the stick controls and the trigger controls, the bumpers are going to be how you move left and right, and A, B, X, Y, or whatever other buttons are on your particular fucking console or whatever. Those buttons will be used for unlocking, locking onto the opponent, physically moving around the arena in special ways like quick back steps or side steps.
Backstabs.
Back steps with an E. No.
Okay.
Back steps with an E. Not stab.
I was about to make a link to Xenoblade.
Fucking Xenoblade.
Can you backwards long jump in this game?
Just for the shits and giggles of it, I kind of want there to be exactly one section where you can do that. And I just want to like stick that in all my games. Just like have a staircase somewhere in the game. Only one
long jump
that you can BLJ up. And if you do, you get like a secret weapon or something. Like that's the only way to get the fucking sling. Yeah, you can get other fucking handheld weapons or like long range weapons like the bow and the sling and shit like that. So okay, so let's see. I've covered gameplay and the kind of general content for the story. What else is there?
Yeah, can you? I just want to ask more context on the story.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm very curious too. I don't know if we know much yet.
Okay, so the story is actually very, very in depth. I've been writing it for quite a while. You play a person who is a partial psychopath.
Okay.
And your job as this person is to cope with the fears you do have, the few fears you do have as a psychopath.
Okay.
Fears and your job is to get to the end of the game without being killed for being a psychopath. And aside from that, it's all just going to be like open kind of world, sort of like Fable kind of deal.
Okay.
Like if Fable had good combat and voice acting and graphics.
Good combat, what a roast.
Okay, so depending on how you play the game, depending on how many points you have towards either direction, the final boss is yourself. Depending on which version it is, where the world sees you, your character dies or has a near-death experience and has to fight himself. And depending on who wins, the game ends regardless, whether you win or not. You don't get to try the boss fight again. You have to start the game over if you die.
So, like, it's gonna be like
Against the
that
final
weird
boss.
section in Batman Arkham Knight, but better.
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna be like
suppose, yeah.
Takeshi's Challenge.
It's kind of got some roguelike stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I was thinking of doing is for the setting, I was thinking of making it in the anime Made in Abyss.
Wait, what?
Have you guys ever watched the anime Made in Abyss?
I know what it's about. I have not seen it. I do not have a way of watching it.
The Abyss
I've
is
never
the
even
setting.
heard of Made in Abyss.
So the Abyss is the setting?
The setting is the Abyss from Made in Abyss, essentially. That's what it ends up being at the end of it.
So the game and the anime are connected.
Dang, Lucio, you kind of tricked us for a minute. We thought this was going to be the first game completely original, not from an existing franchise. But here we are.
It's not actually connected directly to it, no. It does use a similar concept, too. You have to descend these into this cave. You have to go down.
Oh, hold on. Is this
And if you
place
come up,
real,
you have
or
to
is
come
it
up
like all in the
slowly.
psychopath's mind?
That's open to interpretation. There's a lot of ambiguity towards the sections that are real, which there are going to be confirmed real sections. And there are going to be confirmed hallucination sections. Both of which will still be completely deadly.
So it's going to be like a whole you get to decide if it's this way or not situations.
So
your social interactions are going to depend on your actions in the hallucination segments.
If you
Like
get
Persona?
killed in the dream, I was about to say, if you get killed in the dream segment, do you just have a heart attack?
No, the character gets killed by one of the monsters in the abyss, if that happens.
If he dies in a dream sequence?
Yes, it's not a dream, it's a hallucination, but the hallucinations can interact with you in lethal ways. They're definitely they are not dreams. They are you hallucinating a demonic enemy that nobody else can see. Kind of like the way they portrayed the demon world in the new not the Devil May Cry 5, but in the DMC reboot.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah. So you'll be descending the abyss, kind of going down. It's kind of roguelike in that way. Where you die, you leave your loot there, and you can find your old body as your new character.
Minecraft.
But the one thing that they all roguelike.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
You fucking children! I swear to Christ.
Lucio, new notch, 2019.
He'll start getting on Yai for no reason.
Okay, so what else about the game? So you guys will be fighting other people, both real and hallucinations, and monsters, both real and hallucinations. And at certain times, things are going to happen that are going to freak your character the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where, like, the hallucinations will... God, this thing really does take a lot of individual mechanics from different games now that I think about it. So there's, you know how... Have you played Bloodborne?
Now that I think about it, I'm ripping off a bunch of games in tandem.
Exactly.
Well, I'm ripping off, like, one mechanic from each of these games and throwing all these ones together. That have never been joined together before.
Like every video game?
It really is at the end of the day. You know what they say? There's no new original ideas, just the new original combinations of used ideas.
Hey, Lucio.
Yeah, every idea has been had. Every other idea now is just combinations of those ideas.
Lucio.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's kind of hard to get past that point at some point, you know? Anyway, any questions about it, by the way?
Yes, I have a question. Will there be, like, a panic meter or, like, an insanity meter? That, like,
yeah, there's kind of going to be a Bloodborne kind of, there's going to be a self-awareness meter, and it's going to basically mean this is the number of things your character is currently able to pay attention to. And if that number hits 0, your character enters a state of ego death, where he exclusively has to fight a hallucination in order to come back out.
And if you lose, you die? Like...
Yes.
Okay.
Get to
If you
restart.
lose the fight in ego death, your character remains in ego death and basically becomes comatose. And their body can be recovered but never revived. Maybe if you get to them while they're still comatose before an animal gets to them as the next character you play as in a roguelike, maybe.
Oh.
Actually, I also have another question.
Yeah.
I intend this to be a question for each episode because, like, will there be like a multiplayer function to the game? Like, and if so, is it going to be local or online?
Mixture of both. It can be local if you want it to be, but it's mostly going to be online because it's going to be hard to do the mechanics in person. With that kind of deal, you kind of need 2 screens. But I could probably figure out a way to do it. Split screening would probably have to be done.
Okay. Also, okay.
But
also, like, is it going to be an
TV.
MMO where there has to be online play?
Oh no, not at all. It can all be done locally
so it
on
isn't
your
a
local
trash
storage.
game.
No, it's got to have all the no compromises mechanics, or not mechanics, no compromises features. It's gonna have fully interactable menus that let you fucking actually change your resolution and shit like that. It's gonna let you toggle on and off whether you're fighting other people. One of my ideas was have the hallucinations be fighting other people.
Ooh.
Kind of Dark Souls-ish. Dark Souls or Bloodborne sort of deal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And then that way, it doesn't get forced on you. It only happens if your character's self-awareness meter drops completely.
Okay.
And you're not going to actually know what any of the numbers are. There's not going to be any form of heads-up display other than a little circle in the bottom right-hand corner that's going to have 2 other circles in it that look like a figure 8 inside of a circle. And when you move the sticks, it'll tell you where the game thinks you're holding the stick so that you can control everything.
So it's not going to be like SCP and your sanity bar is, you can't see it. So if it goes down all the way, you just sort of die and you don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be that.
Okay.
And you're going to see little things like your character is like a little like text box, or not even a box, just like some wispy text will show up on the screen in like the corner or something that says your character or you know, MC Coon is worried because he can't pay attention to his own breathing right now.
Okay. Also, one last question. What like consoles will it be for?
I would imagine it would be available for anything. I'm struggling, however, to figure out how the mechanics would work on mouse and keyboard, so it might be a controller
play this game on my PS2.
Yeah, you probably play it on honestly, you could play it on a DualShock controller of any kind.
I mean, it is the best-selling console. So like,
now if you
just retro make it like people have done with NES games.
If you actually make this game and there's no PS2 port, I'm going to be upset with you.
I'll see what I can do then. I'll also try to get it on the fucking smart fridge. I'll get it on the smart fridge too, the fucking Sony smart fridge.
Smart fridge.
Every console. I'll make a fucking port. I'm going to hack it to an ATM. And if you manage to fucking find treasure that pumps out money, how about that? I'll make a port that does that for you.
Can you make a port for the NES?
Just imagine somebody sitting in their kitchen in front of their fridge playing a video game on their goddamn fridge.
Meanwhile, some like freaking like 13-year-old boy kills them, starts teabagging them.
With actual teabags that they got from the fridge.
You will be able to just, if you die, keep your camera over your character. And when your character dies, all the fog in the world goes away, so you can see the entirety of the abyss you've been traveling down, except for anything below you.
Oh, that's
so the fog will envelop above you in kind of like a blinding light. It's almost like the sun, but it's also peering through fog, so just sort of breaks everything around you, and the lower the amount of things you can pay attention to is, the the more the more fog will come in.
Oh,
And
it'll kind of
if
be
you're
like the
moving a
setting of
shit
Silent
ton,
Hill.
but your character's like ability to pay attention to shit is dropping like significantly as you go deeper, one of the things that might happen is your character might lose the ability to focus on objects, or if you're trying to force the camera to look at something while you're moving, maybe your character will trip and fall over because he can't
Okay.
pay attention to the ground.
Wait, hold on.
Shit like
So,
that.
so for like the entire
You'll be
game,
able to control all this shit and make sure this shit doesn't happen. But you'll have to do some resource management based on what your character's, I guess I'll just call it sanity, is.
oh, Lucio. Oh. So like, will the entire game, will like the entire game like be surrounded by fog, kind of like Silent Hill or something?
Yeah, there'll be a coming and going fog that will enter areas and leave areas and come and go as your character's condition and as the game itself changes.
Anyway, so anything else you want to share about this game?
Let's see.
Need a little bit more.
There's,
It's supposed to be an hour show.
Creator. There's no character creator. You're forced to be a generic white man.
That's racist.
At least you're aware.
It's funny. I wanted to do it that way for a few reasons. For one, I don't want anybody to get attached to their character design just for themselves to die on like the first layer and then like look at their character that has their like exact face, dead body just fucking sitting there when they go to collect their own
at
loot.
least be like the most basic character creation, like just like skin color, eye color, and hairstyle, and that's it.
No, make it the me channel.
Oh god. You know what I could do? I could just make it force you to be one shade of skin color. Or not everybody one, but like just force you to be a skin color that you don't get to choose. The main thing is I don't want people to choose their character, because you don't get to choose who you are in real life. And this game is supposed to have a theme around life and death. Both.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea. I'm sucking my own dick on a podcast. I don't give a fuck.
That's inappropriate, Lucio. There are two minors in this chat. Me and Jason are both minors, Lucio.
Wow, I thought you were high school students, not fucking minors. Damn, is it gold or coal?
That's what a minor is.
Ain't nothing else in this area. Ain't nothing else in the U.S. but
what's a student?
Got him.
Lucio out here doing inappropriate things in a chat with teenagers. Cameron's new cellmate.
No!
You just made someone real mad.
You don't even have to cut that out, Jason. I don't care about calling that anymore. Okay, so let me try to think of some questions about your game.
Yeah, what are some other aspects to a game that I'm missing? I kind of gave the general gist of the setting, story, and gameplay mechanics. What else?
Okay,
Hey guys.
who is the supporting cast? Does this guy have any family or friends or like recurring enemies?
Okay. So, your character will be able to safely interact with any character right off the bat who is a normal human. They will be willing to talk with you and discuss with you, but you will not be able to control these interactions directly. This stuff will be based on what you do in between seeing characters. So how you do in combat against the hallucinations, who during the hallucinations you decide to team up with, for example. So let's say you're hallucinating 3 dudes fighting.
Okay, so Jason left early. I'm very upset with him. I'll have to yell at him later.
That's okay. It's not a big deal. So, for example, you won't. So the only context you get to one of your hallucinations is you see two characters fighting one character. Just in your hallucination, two generic motherfuckers fighting one generic motherfucker. And he's obviously holding his own, and they're at a standoff, and nothing's going to happen unless you step in. So, you step in. Depending on who you choose, you will get a point towards the psychopathic side or the non-psychopathic side.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that will be what determines how your character treats others.
This game sounds really interesting. Like, I think I would legitimately pay full price and play this game.
Ooh, well, I was thinking it would have with all of the different mechanics
on my
and
PlayStation
all the different
2,
details. It would have to be. It would absolutely 100% have to be a AAA title. I don't think that there's a way to develop this in a non-AAA setting.
So that's $60 up front, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's either 60 or if it's Nintendo, maybe 40. Maybe.
This is
but that's pushing
AAA title, but I'm still holding you to talking to Sony and making a PlayStation 2 port happen, even though
I mean, it doesn't have to be official if it's for an old console.
I mean, I feel like if you're working with Sony and having a PS4 port, you might want to ask courtesy permission to make a PS2 port.
Yeah, probably. They'll probably be like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, probably.
We don't do anything with that anymore. Yeah, dude, do whatever you fucking want, dude. Oh, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, dude.
I just imagine all the PlayStation 3 fans just like sad because the 4 and the 2 has it, but not the 3.
Only even PlayStations will get it. So we'll make a port when the 6 comes out, but nothing for the 5.
Not 1 or 3, just 2 and 4.
Yeah, and then it'll just be on every Nintendo console. All of them. From the fucking Virtua Boy.
The NES?
For the NES, the fucking Virtual Boy. God damn it. Make a Virtual Boy port. How about that? It would probably be really good in VR, honestly, because of the way it works.
I asked that earlier, but it kind of got
overshadowed,
talked over. Would there be VR?
There could pretty easily be a VR version of this, because I mean, all the information is just based on Axis information.
Like I said at the beginning of the episode, it's PlayStation VR, but you somehow end up in an actual LARP, and you didn't even know.
Yeah, basically, honestly. At a certain point, you just sort of... The point of the game is just make the decisions that you think you would base, not what you think the game would be more fun as, not what you think the game would be more interesting as. Make the decisions that you think you would make, because there's going to be no gameplay differences based on your decisions.
There'd be story differences, though, right?
Yeah, characters will react differently and all that, and I'm sure there'll be let's plays.
But what you're saying is your decisions don't affect anything because the same things will still happen.
Yeah, the same events that your character doesn't have anything to do with will still take place. So, I don't know. There's this one section where
that always makes me
deal with a kid having his father die. There's a scene where I wanted that to happen. The
thing is, me and games is that when there's a game that's based on decision making, if your decisions don't matter, it pisses me off.
Well, it's not about it's not that they don't matter. They definitely change the story, but they don't have any effect on the gameplay. You don't get any characters. You don't get locked out of any buildings, for example. Even if you do, you can always break in.
When you choose to be a dick at a bar and you get banned.
Yeah, basically. And that's basically what it is. So
it's like
I was
a free
thinking of this
game,
scene.
so I'm sure you could theoretically walk into a bar and be a dick.
Yeah. So I was thinking of this scene where a father is dying and his son is trying to cope with it. And you have a choice then and there, or you don't have a choice in that exact section what your character does, but they will do one of a few things. Either one, they will kill the father out of mercy, because he's got hyper cancer or some shit. Hyper abyss cancer.
Can you kill the kid out of mercy?
Yes. That if you have somehow managed to get max psychopath all the way down, you'll just immediately enter combat with them.
I thought this was going to
Because
be
the
a game
second you enter the room, the kid senses that something is off and that something scary has showed up. Because people have that kind of sense about them.
Okay,
So,
well, yeah. I was
if
kind of
that
thinking this game would
happens,
be
the
more of
kid
where,
will try
like,
to attack you, and he'll do ain't shit for damage. And right
I was
then and
thinking this
there,
game
you
would be
either
more of,
try
like,
to
since
choose
you're a psychopath, you kind of have, like, more free decision than you would in other games, where, like, you could run into a person that you have no logical reason to kill and just kind of kill them.
Yeah, exactly. You can. You have the ability to physically do anything possible in the game.
Like,
Because
you
all
could be having a
controls will be
conversation with this
available.
child.
All
This
controls are
child could walk.
available to you regardless of the location or anything.
This child could walk up to you and ask you where the grocery store is, and you could
And you
kindly
just fucking
point him
cut
to
his
the
head
grocery
off.
store. You could kindly point him to the grocery store and then stab him in the back.
Exactly. Steal his fucking grocery money and keep walking. Kick him off the fucking edge. Hey, sir, I'm going to the grocery store to get my father some medicine. Can you tell me where it is? I'm only 4. Yeah, sure, Kate. It's
I think it would be AC-17 though. At that point, I don't think you're allowed to kill kids in video games.
Yeah,
So
if it did that.
Have you decided on AC-17 then?
Wait, no, that's not true. There are games with kids getting murdered in them that aren't in NC-17.
Yeah, but I don't think you can directly kill kids. Kids can die, but I don't think you can directly kill them.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe just leading the kid to his death or something. I don't know. Like accidentally, quote unquote accidentally. Or just, you know what it would be? It would be purposefully giving the kid wrong information so he stops bugging you. Because he'd be annoying about it. I would purposefully make him annoying about it. So if you choose the method that makes him permanently go away by telling him the wrong directions, he just fucking dies. And you don't find out till like way later.
But you see, I'm finding loopholes in your system because you're saying no matter where you are, you'll be able to physically do anything that the controls allow, which means
any
you
of
would
the
be
mechanics,
able to stab a kid. If you can stab anyone, you're able to stab a child.
There would be something in the setting that would interrupt it. There would be something in the level design that would interrupt it.
It's not how GTA solves it, where they just don't make children. Like, children do not exist in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. So in this case, it would. Wait a second. You can directly kill kids in fucking BioShock.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, it's fine then. I just thought that was a rule. If it's not, then that's good.
No, I think it's just like if it's like super brutal or something. I think it's just I think the ratings past MM. Honestly, unless there's porn, it's arbitrary.
Just kebabbing a kid isn't that brutal.
Exactly. So, if I had to follow any restrictions like that, I would let the level design be the thing that makes the difference of what you are and are not restricted from doing. Like, for example, the kid would like be
like
behind
maybe you'd be in,
a fucking fence or something that you can't get through.
I was about to say maybe you'd be in like so thin of like an alleyway that you didn't have room to like reach for your sword.
Swing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stuff like that. Or you only have the strength at that moment to punch him for some reason instead of actually stab him. So you can like hit him and then he'll run away into a spot you can't get to.
I actually think child abuse might be worse than child murder. I don't remember.
It might
be. Feel like that. Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be any different for the ratings.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Now that
I think it could be M, most likely. It's most likely going to be M, but I think that if I do the level design cleverly enough, it could easily be teen.
I'd prefer M. I prefer more free murder. Free murder.
I also wanted to make all the gore actually realistic, like realistic physics in the gore, and you know, if you bludgeon somebody's head really fucking hard, let's say with the warhammer, and they're in a helmet, they die, and then their body has like blood snooting out of the fucking mouth and nose
Okay,
for the
there aren't.
next
I
10
was about
minutes.
to say there aren't guns in this game, or there's guns at the end. But what I was gonna ask, just
Yeah.
theoretically under these mechanics, is if you were to get shot with a bullet, you would not be magically okay 5 seconds later.
No. Any wounds you
Like
take,
every
your
other
character
game.
has to heal from properly, which means your character has to receive some form of treatment for it, and then also on top of the treatment, keep the wound physically safe from getting damaged further. And also, you have to have a low stress on that particular area that got wounded. So, like, if you break your arm, you have to get a cast. You have to keep it on for a set amount of time. And now you're not able to climb. So now I have to level design it to do other shit. Or you just have to survive the fucking area until you heal up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a lot of really clever shit I can do with the level design and with the characters and the mechanics that I think that this game would be phenomenal if I could actually get it made.
So I think it's very safe to say, with how much in depth you've gone, that you definitely, out of the first cycle of games presented on Ghost of Gaming Future, I think you've won. I think you've won, Lucio.
Ooh, did I now?
I think
Do I
your
win
game
my
is much,
game getting published?
I think your game is much more creative and in depth than Super Smash Bros. Duel and Zelda Broken Fates.
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. Your guys' ideas were great. Don't shit on yourself though.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know much about Smash Bros. Duel because you didn't listen to that episode.
True. I mean, I'm pretty sure I listened to at least 30 minutes of that podcast. Because I'm pretty sure you showed it to me, and you showed me the first episode, and you were like, hey,
yeah,
do
I
you want
sent
to
it to
try
you to
being
show
on
you what
this?
the show was. Yeah.
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 So I'm pretty
Because
sure I watched a decent enough amount that I was no.
Because I wanted you to have context for the show if you were going to replace Joey.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a passion project I've been having on and off for about 6 years. This is my biggest one, and you just happen to name the general genre it's in, RPG.
I
So
think
yeah, RPG roguelike specifically.
the first legitimate passion project I've had on the internet is the podcast I'm currently working on called the Pegasus League Podcast, where I just invited all of my close friends to this big group chat, and we're going to do a monthly podcast. I wanted to invite you, but I felt like you probably wouldn't have the time.
Yeah, probably not unless whatever happens on it only takes place on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Most likely just Wednesdays, though.
I was about to say, I didn't know you had Tuesdays available. That might make this podcast easier, but never
I
mind.
can technically have Tuesday evenings available, but it's kind of hard to work with because Tuesdays are my first day of my weekend.
Okay.
And I go to my girlfriend's on Monday nights, and I stay over Tuesday, and I usually stay overnight till Wednesday morning.
Because
So
the thing is, Jason is busy a lot of Wednesdays, he told me.
that's a fucking too bad for him, isn't it? He's a
Are we just
fucking
gonna replace? Am I just gonna have to constantly replace co-hosts? Like by
because they're not
episode
powerful
10,
enough.
by episode 10, the show is gonna be like, no, episode 10 is gonna be so far away that it's gonna be like a year from now, and it's gonna be fucking me. It's gonna be like me and who's like the most random person I could think of. Me, Patrick, and fucking Cameron.
Oh god. Oh my god. You know what it is? It's episode 10. It's the podcast right before Christmas. Because he's getting out just in time for Christmas, right?
Do you know his release date?
Yeah. He got sentenced to a specific amount of time on a specific day. So he's getting released early December. I believe the 3rd.
Because
Unless he gets let out early for good behavior or something.
Okay, I'm hoping he contacts me when he gets out because I've got the perfect opening line.
What is it? I gotta hear this.
If he tries to contact me, the first thing I'm gonna say is, "Are you sure you should be DMing minors on the internet right now?"
Oh my god! Oh my god. That's funny as fuck. Holy shit. By the way, speaking of psychopaths, I'm pretty sure that dude didn't even pedophile because he's a pedophile. I'm pretty sure he pedophiled because he's a horn dog and doesn't give a fuck whether it's a kid who gets him off or not.
Was that who Cameron was? Was he a horn dog?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I definitely need to talk to you after the show. But real quick, let's finish this up.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll edit that shit out. I don't want to have more connections to Cameron that publicly. Not too many, at least. Not too in depth.
Oh shit, that might make the next thing harder. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Well, go on.
Okay, so I want to think of at least one more question about this game because I am curious.
Okay. And I've come up with a lot of ideas for this game.
I feel like this is weirdly specific and you probably don't have an answer. Who would the main character be voice acted by? I don't know why that's what I thought of.
1 sec, let me look up his name. I always fucking forget.
Yuri Lowenthal, voice of Sasuke Uchiha. And like a million others. I don't know all of his credits. Oh, he played
MC Kun would be voiced by David Hayter. The same guy who does Snake's voice. David Hayter.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I feel like he can get that gruff, deep, but also like slight tremor in the voice. I feel would be necessary to have a character who not only doesn't understand emotion, but is experiencing a terrifying amount of the worst emotions at the same time as they are not understanding it. That's the whole point of this. I want the story to basically be a psychopath learns to emote. Or learns what emotions are, or experiences awful emotions.
So real quick, off topic, I have a question for you. Are you a Naruto fan?
I used to watch Naruto as a kid. I've watched the entire first part, and one of my favorite characters of all time is still Haku, the boy girl from fucking the first season.
I do like him. I do like Haku. But did you ever... you would have been a teenager, I think, when this first came out, so I doubt it. But have you ever watched the show Lab Rats?
I think I've seen 1 or 2 episodes.
You remember Principal Perry?
I don't think so.
She's like this fat, like mean principal, and she's a character in Lab Rats. And I found out that Naruto is voiced by her, and I can't deal with it. Now I can't stop visualizing Principal Perry when I watch Naruto.
Oh, Lab Rats! I looked it up. Yeah, I've seen that show before. Yeah. Yeah. The fucking principal is voiced by Naruto?
Well, she's played by the voice of Naruto, yes.
Oh, fuck. I can't fucking believe the principal is literally Naruto.
It's so funny. Like, I remember first time seeing her talk about Naruto on YouTube, and that was even like a bigger realization. Like, it was this funny interview where they asked her what she's going to do when Naruto ends, and she's like, it's going to end? I have bills to pay.
Oh, yeah. I thought of another mechanic I forgot to tell you guys about.
Go ahead.
There is a leverage mechanic.
Ooh, tell me more.
Okay, so let's say you're holding a pole hammer, which has about a 2-pound weight on the end of a 7 to 8 foot long stick, pole hammer. And I don't know if you've ever held something that has a 2-pound weight on the end of a stick, but it feels way heavier when you're holding it by the opposite end.
Yeah.
So because of that, I want to make it so that the character can lose control of their weapon by mishandling it.
Ooh.
And it's going to be on a weapon by weapon basis. It's going to be figured out by the physics engine. And if your grip force, which you can level up, by the way, there will be leveling up in this, but it's going to be done through usage. Kind of like Oblivion, but not shitty.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can walk around the world just like having your character train his grip by occasionally grab or clicking on the right thumbstick. Stuff like that. Or the left thumbstick and the right thumbstick at the same time. And your character will grip his weapon, or he'll drop it, or you can throw it. Everything is just solved directly by the physics engine.
Oh, that's really interesting. I really hope this does become a thing someday, because this is really interesting.
Thank you. I might send this podcast to somebody who, or maybe not this podcast, but I might use part of the transcript for this podcast and send it to a video game developer as a solicit them and ask them, hey, can I send video game ideas to you guys, and you just hire me as a creative lead if you like it, and see what they think.
Listen to this 1.5-hour podcast I did with 2 teenagers about my video game idea.
Yeah, I think I would just like write down everything for once in my fucking life instead of just remembering it.
You wouldn't want to write it down, so you just like cut out like clips from the video, but it
just the clips of me talking.
No, but it'd just be beyond your control. Like every once in a while, you'd be talking about something real important, and me and Jason would be saying stupid shit in the background.
Oh my god. Alright, so I think that's it for the game. I think that's it for my Grinder's Quest.
I feel like there's more to the end how much we would buy it for, but I don't remember. We did this the last time we did this was
let's see here. I personally would buy my own game for anywhere between 40 and 60. 80 if it has badass DLC if it comes with it. But it would have to be really badass. Like, I don't know, your character starts off with a fancy house that makes it easier to fucking keep your shit held, I don't know, between characters, so the roguelike thing isn't as bad. I don't know, something like that for a
honestly,
DLC.
This game sounds so interesting that I'd probably buy it for whatever is charged for it, unless it's completely exorbitant.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good sound right there. Thank you. Appreciate the compliment. Appreciate it.
$100 up front.
Right now.
Right now, like 10 years before the game comes out.
Okay, give me $100. I'll give you an Amazon sword and a fucking 1,000 milligram weed edible. It's basically the same thing. You die and you have a sword. That's what the game is. It's basically Dark Souls, but with more tight controls.
Lucio, you are again treading the legal line, offering weed edibles to a minor who lives in a state where weed is not legal recreationally.
I would like to note that I am not offering this legitimately towards any FBI agents or other law enforcement agents that may be listening. Thank you.
One of the 4 people who listens to this podcast is an FBI agent.
And he's just like, fuck. I was gonna get him too.
Fucking Colo Chew.
Watch, one of your fucking followers is just gonna change their name on YouTube to Federal Bureau of Investigation. They're just gonna type the word fuck in the comments. All right, so that is it for Grinder's Quest or Grinder's Journey. If you have any other questions, I'm more than willing to answer. If not, then yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think this episode has been at least an hour, if not longer. So
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
definitely
satisfied.
been longer.
So yeah, I just realized it's fucking like almost 6 o'clock for you, and it's almost 9 o'clock for me. Fucking time zones, man.
Yeah, it's 5:57 here. It's been about an hour and a half since we started, I believe. So not bad,
Alrighty,
not bad at all.
Yep, Jason's no longer with us, unfortunately. Lucio, you have anything you want
By
to
the
plug?
way,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be opening a Discord for the Sidetrackers podcast, which will be coming soon. By the way, if you're listening,
Well,
the
shit, yeah,
Sidetrackers
I'm on that one
podcast.
too, guys.
Can I do an in-depth plug on it, or?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Sidetrackers podcast is going to be based around literally any subject, but the point is we have interesting conversations with people who have or have led interesting lives and have crazy and interesting stories to tell.
It'd be cool if we could
Um,
pull actual popular people onto this podcast.
yeah. Honestly, I could probably get Rags, YouTuber Rags, on here.
Weren't you talking about Creeps McPasta or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could get Mr. Creepypasta probably if I really pushed it. It's kind of hard. He's really busy nowadays. Not like when we were younger, but yeah. I was one of his first 100 subs. You know that?
We could get famous Pokemon podcaster Cameron Johns.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, that has to be removed. You can't have the last name in there.
Everybody knows Cameron's last name is Johns. He's revealed it on his own podcast.
Yeah, but don't put it on this one, just to protect yourself. Trust me.
Okay.
Just in case, because he was studying law at college with me, so at the same college as
Cameron's
us.
gonna sue me, is what you're saying?
It's quite possible. Then again, he was going into criminal law, so I don't know. Who fucking knows, man? Anyway, Sidetrackers is going to be a guest-based podcast, interview-based.
Yeah, go ahead.
And not only myself, for Sidetrackers Science and Sidetrackers Work and Labor, I'm going to be hosting that. I want Pegasus here to help host whatever he can come up with for the show. We would definitely want to co-host Sidetrackers games together.
Show, right? Two. I'm gonna be in the main show as well.
Yeah, as long as we get an online interview, yeah, you can be in it. That's the only stipulation.
What did you just say about what show are you talking about, Lucio? You said something that I didn't hear.
Oh, and there's one other show that's going to be on with my mother, a 5-star chef, Sidetrackers Culinary. So she'll be the one to do the interviews for those.
I'm supposed to think of a show concept, and I'm having trouble.
It's just basically make it a general genre. Like we have games.
Especially since you told me I might have to do this solo, and solo podcasts are the worst for me.
Well, I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad once you kind of get the concept, because the system, the Sidetracker system, will take care of the conversation for you. You'll see what I mean once we actually
conversation with myself.
No, it won't be true solo. You'll have a guest always. It'll never be true solo. Literally just you by yourself. Never that.
Because I remember asking,
solo host versus
on this?
Huh?
I thought I was gonna be alone. I remember just being through DMs, you were gonna make me do this alone? Can I get Gingy on this or something?
No, it won't be like that, man. So for Sidetrackers games, we definitely want to share stuff, but I kind of want to let you be the main host for Sidetrackers gaming. Honestly, because I'm gonna be way more busy.
Do another gaming podcast.
I mean, if you want it to be that, it doesn't have to be.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying. Yeah, rip Gingy. I'm gonna host another video game podcast now.
Fuck you, Gingy, you fucking nerd. Fucking Jinji Ito looking ass.
All right, you have anything else you have to say about Sidetrackers?
Just subscribe to Sidetrackers podcast on YouTube. First video will be up hopefully within 2 weeks. And follow Sidetrackers. That's at SIDETRACKERZ on Twitter and probably TikTok too. I don't know if I'm
What's
gonna
funny
make
is
one of those or not.
I have to do shit with Lucio late Wednesday nights, which means any recording, we are subject to my mother potentially being in a bad mood and telling me to go to bed.
Rip.
The adventures of being a minor.
All right. Well, that's it for me. That's it for the plug.
All right. So
Riley?
as for me, I have a couple. Yep. I have a couple things to plug. I was almost about to plug Pixels Media. I realized this is like the only podcast I'm on that's not part of that. As for me, I'm on Twitter at PegasusTheGame1. I'm on YouTube at PegasusTheGamer, which you guys know. That's the channel this show is on. And I have a couple other podcasts. I work with Pixels Media, which has the shows Pixels, Polygons, and Fun, and Pokemon Variety Hour, both of which can be found anywhere podcasts are found. I also have a YouTube-exclusive podcast with Pixels Media called Poke Survivor, which can be found on the YouTube channel Pixels, Polygons, and Fun, which is a competitive elimination lock challenge I do with my buddy Patrick. And
Also
yeah.
follow NRCS We Trust on YouTube.
I mean, if you want some bonus content from me, it wouldn't hurt to go back and listen to that show.
Me too. Fuck.
It's not a bad show.
It's not too bad, but the logo was trash.
The logo that Cameron made or the logo that I made?
Yes.
Wow, thanks, Lucio.
The logo he made was trash. Just combining all the letters into a single line is so fucking lazy. You didn't even Photoshop.
What about my logo, the one with the mountain and the Pokemon?
It was all right for a minor. It was all right for somebody who doesn't have a degree in graphic design or is not in college.
It's all right for somebody who doesn't have a high school diploma.
Exactly. Exactly.
And made it in his fucking Digital Design 3 class when he wasn't doing it his work like he was supposed to.
Alright. So I think that's it.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to Ghost of Gaming Future. I've been Riley.
This is Lucio.
You said it right this time. You didn't say your real name that you didn't want people to know.
Yeah. I'm honestly probably gonna have to switch to the real name here pretty soon. I'm gonna use it for Sidetrackers. So
I mean, me and Jason go by our real names on the show, so you can just start.
Yeah, I guess I'll just start. Subscribe to me,
do the
Daniel.
Outro again, then. I've been Riley.
I said it. It's Daniel. Yeah.
Daniel.
Sorry, start it again, Riley.
I've been Riley.
This is Daniel.
And we'll see you guys next time. Hey, Lucio, can you do me a solid and do the Craig command? Because I can't type while I'm in voice.
What Craig command?
You have to type : Craig : leave.